Thank you very much. Notwithstanding our calls for the elections to have been postponed, we welcome the decision by the Constitutional Court, and the IFP will fully abide to its prerogative, and we fundamentally had complied with the IEC timeline precisely because we knew that the court may rule either way. And therefore, that being the case, I wish to confirm categorically that the IFP is ready for the elections as determined, and we will be issuing guidelines to all our structures on Monday, which will enable them to campaign within the prescribed parameters of the law, as we know that the country is still under a state of disaster. Be that as it may, the IFP welcomes this judgment to be going to hit the ground running to ensure that we maximally campaign to deliver an alternative to the people of South Africa for service delivery and improved governance at local government level.
Do you think the elections will be free and fair?
We hope so. The IEC has got a constitutional mandate to ensure that elections are free and fair, and we as stakeholders have also got a responsibility and a role in that endeavor. Therefore, I can commit the IFP to conducting itself in a manner which will ensure free and fair elections, and we are expecting the IEC to be true to its namesake and be independent in the decisions that they will take in the coming days and weeks in ensuring that we have elections that are free and fair and free from fear. The legitimacy of any election is part and parcel in chief about an elections body that conducts itself beyond reproach, and therefore the IEC will be the yardstick measure in this regard and the North Star in terms of how these elections are conducted, and that's a responsibility they must not take lightly. But as far as the IFP is concerned, we will do what we must to ensure elections that are free and fair.
Now, when you look at some of the concerns, others are saying that, campaigning might be a mammoth task, given the fact that we're still in the midst of a pandemic. How do you see campaigning unfold for your political party?
Well, we're going to have to be agile and flexible to the prevailing realities of our time. There is no negotiation about that. What we are calling for and what we are committing ourselves to is to conducting elections that are going to safeguard the collective sustainable livelihoods of South Africans, to ensure that we reduce and minimize the risk of exposure as far as possible, and to ensure that we do everything reasonably possible for us not to put South Africans in danger. We will have to be imaginative and innovative, and the guidelines that the party will be issuing on Monday will be consistent with that kind of outlook, which says lives must be protected. And because that's fundamentally why we had gone to the ConCourt. We had wanted to ensure that the health considerations and the risk thereof are actually, considered at the highest level of responsibility. The court has taken a decision which is contrary to that outlook, and we fundamentally believe the responsibility now rests on all of us who will be electoral participants and stakeholders to ensure that we do not put citizens at risk. And we will be issuing guidelines to our volunteers as well, because unlike some of the elitist parties who believe that campaigning can only take place virtually, we are representing a constituency of people who may not have access to the internet and who are concerned about the fact that data is expensive. So all those factors combined require us to be agile, and we'll have a hybrid kind of campaign which caters for online campaigning, but also the grassroots activation will have to be a key feature, but within the safety of the electorate.
I can't help but ask you this. Your political party in KwaZulu-Natal is neck and neck with the ANC in some of, the critical municipalities, and others have said that the ruling party not being able to field some candidates in several municipalities in KZN may just put the IFP in good stead. Is that your sense as well?
ANC submission or non-submission, we are going to trust the ANC anyway. And therefore, we are not pegging our electoral success on the misfortunes of the ANC. We have gone through what they went through, what they're going through in 2011. The NFPs, went through it in 2016. What we are calling for is for the IEC to remain true to the integrity of the electoral process and to uphold the election timeline as was already actually issued. There must be no backdoor participation of any party. The elections have to be free and from the pressures of the powers that be. So we are fundamentally of the view that we are going to be hitting the ground running, and we are going to do everything possible that we win the hearts and minds and votes of all South Africans. And this must be a lesson to the ANC, of course, that they need to do better, plan better, because failing to plan is planning to fail. But ultimately, whether they were contesting or not, we are quite certain that the programs and the campaign outlook that we have set into motion for the IFP would have delivered a victory. The IEC must not be found wanting, and it must not compromise on the integrity and the fairness of these elections by buckling to political pressure.
All right, that was the IFP's Mkhuleko Hlengwa. Thank you so much for your time.